How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be showing you some incredibly useful and hassle-free commands in UV which allow you to install and change Python versions directly from your terminal. For this video, I'll be using the Z code editor. I'll also be showing you an incredibly convenient shortcut for running code with UV that you can use directly in Z. And if you haven't tried Z yet and feel like giving it a go, I've left a link in the description box where you can download it for free. And one last thing, if this is your first time using UV, I recommend watching my previous video for a quick overview and guide to how you can install UV on your computer. Anyway, let's get started with the first command of the day. And this one's called UV run Python-v. And that's going to give you back the current version of Python that you're running in UV. You can also use the verbose version, so --version, and that will also give you back the current version. If you later want to change Python versions in your project, you can use the UV Python pin Python 3.13 command, or whatever version you want to use. And it's going to pin the version to 3.13, which means every time I run the code inside here now, it's going to use Python 13 to run this code. You can also exclude the Python part and just specify the version. And if you want to be extra specific, you can specify the update or version number that you want to use, such as 3.14.1. And that's going to update it to that specific version. It's that simple. Now, since I don't really have a UV project set up just yet, I'm going to type in UV init so that it will create my pyproject.toml file. And here we're going to specify that the minimum version can be set to 3.9. Now what I'm going to do inside here is paste in this code, which uses the new 3.12 syntax. I'll explain in a moment what I'm doing here. But for now, if we were to run this in 3.14, it would work just fine. As you can see, the first time we run it, it's going to say that we're using 3.14.1. It's going to create the virtual environment and it's going to run the code. But now if we go back to the terminal and we change the version to 3.9, let's just do that. You'll notice that the next time we run this code, it's going to raise a syntax error because the type syntax is only valid for Python 3.12 and above. And I just noticed that I was still using the webcam. So I'm just going to remove that so you can concentrate on the code. But the reason I ran all of this is just to show you that we successfully changed Python versions from 3.14 to 3.9. And ideally, you'd never want this to happen because when you specify which Python version your project requires, it should usually warn you that you shouldn't use a Python version lower than the one you specified. So in this example, we're going to specify that the project requires Python 3.14. And what's cool about that is that if we try to change the version of Python to something such as 3.9, it's not going to let us do that because we specified in our pyproject.toml file that our project required 3.14 and above. So let's change that back to 3.14 and continue with the video. If you'd like to see all the available Python versions that you can install, use the UV Python list command. This will give you all the Python versions that are currently available to be installed via UV. As you can see, some of these I already have installed, and it's going to tell me exactly where I have them installed. You can even scroll all the way to the top, and you'll see that we also have Python 3.15, the alpha version. To install any of these, all you need to do is copy the version number. And just to demonstrate that, I'm going to take 3.13.11, which I do not have installed on my computer. So let's scroll down, clear the console, and type in UV Python install and paste in the version number. UV will then download that version for us, which is very convenient because we didn't have to leave the terminal, open a new browser, or try to download Python from some scammy website by accident. We could do it all directly from the comfort of our terminal. Also, on a side note, the only place you should be downloading Python is from python.org. Python is free and open source. Never trust anyone who tries to sell it to you. But now that we covered all of that, it's time I teach you how to set up that ultra sexy and chocolate coded shortcut that you can use in Z to run code incredibly fast using your own custom key binding. Because every time I type in some code, such as hello Sandra, and decide to run it, I have a dedicated shortcut which allows me to do that incredibly quickly using UV. So to set up the shortcut, we're going to hold down Shift Command plus P, which will open up the command palette. On Windows, it's probably going to be different since you don't have the command key. So to find out the shortcut on Windows, you're going to have to go to the Go tab and tap on Command Palette, which funny enough closed it for me. So I'm going to click on it again, and it's going to open it again. But what you want to do inside here is look for Open Tasks. And inside here, you're going to want to create a task with a label of whatever you want your label to be. Something such as Python or run_Python. This is what you need to refer to run this command. I just called it r/Python because I wanted to mimic the Reddit feel, just for funsies. Then the command is going to be uv run Python, and the argument is going to be set to Z file, and that's just going to run whatever file I'm currently on. I've set use new terminal to false because I just want to use the same terminal over and over when I'm running code. I don't want to end up with a million terminals. And I've also set allow concurrent runs to true. The other one I have down below is for my Rust channel, so you can ignore that. So it's probably going to look like this on your computer. And don't forget the square brackets. But once you have that, hold Shift Command plus P once again, and find your key map. And on newer versions of Z, you're going to have a very nice place to edit your key bindings. But when I first downloaded Z, I only had JSON. So in the top right-hand corner, you'll notice an Edit in JSON button, which I recommend clicking because inside here, you can keep track of your own key bindings a bit easier. So the first one is for my editor, which we can safely ignore. And the second one is for my workspace. And once again, this is all inside a list. So what we want to do is set up the workspace and include some bindings. Then inside the bindings, I've set Command plus R to spawn the task of r/Python, which is the exact same task name as we have in tasks.json. As you can see up here, we have a label called r/Python. So if it's your first time opening this section, it's probably going to look like this. And you won't even have the editor. This is literally all you're going to have in this file. But once you've done all that, you can go back to any Python file and hold Command plus R or whatever shortcut you decided to use to run your Python code. And we can create another file and call it main2.py and print hello from main2.py. And when we run this, it's going to run the current file, which is very efficient. And again, this is running everything using UV. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video about UV and some of the very useful commands it has. Do let me know in the comment section down below whether you'd like to see more of these kinds of videos. Personally, I'm really enjoying UV, so I'm going to make some regardless, I think. But of course, if you want me to concentrate on a specific aspect of UV, I can look into that. But yeah, that just about covers everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.